Bobcats are coached by Curtis Hughes, Jerry Plummer, Jason Sealand, Darren Moore, Connor Lander, Tyson Strawbon, Tyler Schneider, Cole Rotterman, and the head coach of the Bobcats, Brady Clark. Officials for tonight's contest: Richie Hutchinson, Rusty Keith Massey, Brian Whitman, and Bryce Young.
One of the ladies had it, and she's like, "This is the last program." So I said, "Oh, can I have it?" So, not that it would have been the end of the world, but
no, it would have been fine.
But I just don't know how many they make, or if maybe there are more fans than.
Huron, there's the ball. Alexia C.
Huron runs the toss, elects to receive, and defends the north field. And a kick for the Bobcats, number 12, Drew Jensen. Deep to receive for the Tigers, number 9, Hanson, and number 21, Bush. Mason Mathis. Huron ball, first and 10 from the 27. Yard gain on the play, an reception by Moden. First down for the Tigers.
The Tigers, McNeil hands it off, and that's going to be, I believe that's Caudell. He's hit and stood up after about a yard. Nice gang tackling by the Bobcats. Didn't see who got there first, but he got some help really quick, and they didn't let him fall forward. That is Moding. No, I'm sorry, that was Holden Haig with the carry. I was listening to the PA guy. I believe he got that wrong. Holden Haig with the carry. So Colton McNeil now in the gun. He's got 3 wide, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side, and an H-back up there on the right side as well. Quickly over the middle goes to Moding. Has him across the 45. Hit, spun around. The ball may have come out. We've got to fight for it, and I believe a flag on the field. Unless somebody lost a neon towel. So we've got a lot going on in this play. The Bobcats come up with the fumble recovery, but we do have the flag. We'll see what that is all about. But the Bobcats may have come up with an early turnover here.
And they're all cheering, so flag, whatever it is, looks like it should be against Huron.
Is that an illegal man downfield?
I think so.
So the Bobcats come up with a big hit. Moding had some yards and used the block pretty well. Got hit, spun around, and then hit again as he had his back to the defense and lost the ball. And the Bobcats come up with it. So the Bobcats trying to turn the momentum early here. We've got a wide receiver out to the far side of the field to Jones Hunnemer's left. That is Dougie Thomas. Hunnemer will be under center. He's got an I backfield behind him. And he's going to hand it off. And right away, having some room, is going to be Gavin Hamrick, hammering his way to the 39-yard line. A gain of about 7. We'll bring up 2nd and 3. Nice blocking up front by the Bobcats there. Hamrick didn't see a defender until he was almost into the secondary.
And that's where Brookings kind of has almost most of their seniors of this class is on the offensive line, which is huge. You've got Luke Hansen, senior. You've got Braden Stadler, senior, Joey Fitzpatrick, senior. So it's a nice thing to have seniors on that offensive line leading it for your young running backs.
Jet sweep to Harris, trying to find room around the left side. Hit and struggles forward, and he's going to be short of the first down, but he picks up a couple. So 3rd and 1 coming up here. Nice job by Will Conrad, picking up another half a yard or so after the contact. So 3rd and short for the Bobcats after they come up with the fumble recovery, looking for their first down of the night on offense. Hunnemer looks to the sideline, gets the play. And he's going to be under center again. He'll have an I backfield behind him. Jay Harris, the fullback. Oh, I'm sorry, that looks like that's Ethan Houtman this time as fullback. And now it's Hamrick as the I back. Hamrick, handoff left, lowers his shoulder, falls forward, minimal gain, if any.
Looks like none.
Looks like it's going to be 4th and 1 coming up here. It looked like he may have fallen forward, but they may have said his knee went down before he stretched out there. So the ball will be still on the 37. Need to get to the 36, and they're going for it. Same set, I backfield. And it's a quick quarterback sneak by Hunnemer. Looks like he surged forward and just got it. Big play on 4th down for the Bobcats. It looks like they will keep this drive alive. Nice job by the big guys up front there.
And you see it all the time in the NFL now, too. You just get behind that quarterback and you just push them forward, and it seems like 9 out of 10 times you're going to get a yard, if not a couple more, and that's all Hunnemer needed there to get the first.
Yeah, the teams have that play down. It's hard to stop them if they're only a yard out.
Was it the Leinart push, the USC? I think that's what it was from.
Oh, it was Bush, Reggie Bush.
Yes,
yeah.
the Bush push.
I'm a Notre Dame fan. I remember it well. Quick
sorry.
pass out to Conrad. Conrad quickly upfield, and he's got enough, I believe, for the first down. He's got right. Oh, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Oh, there's a flag on the play as well. So it looks like that's going to come back. That's why they didn't take the time to really spot where he... Well, it looks like they are going to spot it at the 30. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds, but the penalty is going to go against the Bobcats. Holding. That'll bring it back. So it negates a big play for the Bobcats. It'll be 1st and long. 1st and 15 back on the 41. You got to get to the 26 for a first down. Dougie Thomas wide to the far side of the field to the left of Huntemer. He's back under center. Pitches it out to Hamrick. Hamrick cuts it up. Legs take it out from under him. He flies in the air and he'll be taken down for a short loss on the play. So it'll be second and about 15 and a half coming up here. Bobcats digging a hole after that penalty. I want to say thanks to Bose Construction for being a fine sponsor of Bobcat Sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Huntemer in the gun. Back to pass. Sets up, throws it out to the near sideline, and it's out in front of Will Conrad, incomplete. There on the coverage for the Tigers was John Peterson. So it'll be third and very long. Third, and they're calling it 16. And that penalties can just interrupt drives and take that momentum right away from you.
Exactly, like you had said on that penalty, Conrad got up to it. Looked to be about the 25, so they're getting into possible field goal range at least, but now all the way back on the 42. Going to need something big here.
Huntemer sets up, steps up into the pocket, lets it fly, and it's over Will Conrad and everybody else's head, out of bounds. Another incompletion. It'll bring up 4th and long, and the Bobcats will bring out the punt team. So 4th and long coming up. Want to say thanks to Rickus Nelson, another fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Remember, in the post game, we'll pick a player of the game. That's brought to you by Outlaw Graphics. They make the t-shirt that we give out that says player of the game on it. And Boss's Pizza, sponsor of the player of the game this year as well. We give a certificate for some wings. Choice of sauce to the winner of the player of the game after the game as well.
I can't pick myself.
You could just pick for them. Yeah,
okay.
We'll tell them what they have to get. And you can
I'll just
follow
get the
that
wings. Okay.
Drew Johnson out to punt from his own 45, but we're going to get a whistle before he gets the punt off. I believe it was before the snap they called the penalty, and it's going to be a delay of game on the Bobcats, so they'll move it back 5 yards and punt from further away. Bobcats got the momentum, had a drive going, and a couple of penalties, or at least the one earlier, really stalled their drive. And they get another one there, and they'll punt. And the ball on the 47-yard line. Johnson on his own 39. Here comes the punt. High snap, he goes to get it. End over end punt, bounces inside the 20, across the 15, inside the 10, a good Brookings bounce, and they jump on it at about the 3-yard line.
Multiple flags. Great punt. Nice bounce. Wonder.
Yeah, that's Mathis, I believe, who jumped on it. They're going to put it on the 4. Be a 49-yard punt. But we'll see what the flag's about. Referees discussing inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the call from our head referee, Brian Wedham. A personal foul on the receiving team, Huron. So they'll move it back to the 2. So the Bobcats have the Tigers pinned back in the shadow of their own goalpost. I want to say thanks to Brookings Auto Mall, sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Thanks for joining us here on a Friday night. First home game for the Bobcats and looking for their first win of the season, as are the visiting Huron Tigers. Colton McNeil in the gun. Moding standing to his left. He's got 2 receivers to the near side, the short side of the field, and 1 to the far side, and H-back to his right as well. McNeil sets up, throws it, has his man across the 15, and that is number 81, Logan Leyendecker, the 6'1 junior. So a good gain on first down from the 2-yard line for the Tigers. They get out from under the shadow of their goalpost, and they move the sticks out to the 17-yard line, a gain of about 15 there. Inside 7.5 to go here in the first quarter, still scoreless. Colton McNeil in the gun, back to pass, quick pass out to the near side, that's to C.J. Gainey, lowers his shoulder, hit and dragged down by several tacklers. Gavin Hamrick there, Will Conrad there, and 1 still to get off the bottom of the pile there, Will Harris there as well for the Bobcats. A nice gang tackling by the Bobcats after a quick pass out to C.J. Gainey, who is fast.
He's really fast. Yeah, you like to see him throw those kind of just quick routes over there to the side and let him do the rest of the work. But when you have speed like that, it's not a bad idea at all.
He was on a lot of people's watch list coming into the season. for sure. So the Bobcats will have to keep an eye on him. McNeil back in the gun. And back to pass. Throws it deep down the right side, over the right side on a slant route, but to Gavin Moding, but he overthrew him, incomplete. And 3rd and 6 coming up now. Had him open, just couldn't connect. Just overthrew him. Couple of those from each quarterback here tonight so far.
Open guys, but just a little too much.
Too much on it. Hyped up. There's a lot of tailgating going on before this. I saw the team out there early. Maybe they're a little too pepped up. Handoff, and that is going to be to Cashton Caudell. He is going to be stopped for no gain. Nice job for the Brookings Bobcats on the defense. He got somebody, hit him in the thigh early, knocked him off balance, and then somebody else came up to clean it up. Good job filling by the Bobcats.
Another great stop.
I want to say thanks to Kubota, sponsor of sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Gavin Hamrick deep for the Bobcats on his own 40. The punt by Colby Hofer, a high and short, and fair caught in Bobcats territory at around the 48-yard line on a 27-yard punt. The Bobcats will have good field position once again on this drive. It'll be 2 drives in a row they've started in Tigers territory.
It's never a bad thing. If you're an offense coordinator, I think you're going to like that as long as you can capitalize. And again, that one penalty, that last drive, came back to hurt him the hold. So hopefully clean some up on this drive, get on the board early, make a statement.
Yeah, that is what the coaching staff is telling them, guys. All right, no mistakes. Let's carry this drive all the way through this time. So Jones Hunter back out there under center, and he's got an eye backfield. Fake pitch and a counter to Will Conrad. Makes a nice move, gets through the hole, but coming up and making a good tackle is C.J. Gainey at the 43. A gain of about 5. We're going to give him a gain of about 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4 coming up here. Well, C.J. Gainey doesn't tackle Will Conrad there. He might still be running. It's hard to tackle a player out in the open field like that. Hand off to Hamrick right side, and he's into the scrum for about 2 yards, maybe a yard. We'll see, depending on which referee's spot they take here. The one on our side said the 40, the one on the other side said the 30 or the 41. 41 wins, so a gain of a yard.
Which was still a good yard because the defensive line got through there right away. It looked like it could have been an easy loss of 2 or 3, so props to Hamrick putting his head down and even gaining a big yard right there on 2nd down.
Connor Jensen, a 230-pounder, had Hamrick's jersey. That was a rough pitch back to Hamrick high. He went to get it, tries to find anything, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and frankly, that was a chore.
Great catch there by Hamrick too. I saw the pitch from Huntermer. I wasn't sure if Hamrick even saw it coming. Was able to snag it though. Again, those 2 defensive linemen just getting through to the offensive line, putting pressure on Hamrick. So the last 2 plays, again, losing a yard, gaining a yard, but it could have been anywhere from a loss of 3. That one also could have been very close to a fumble that the Tigers could have easily recovered.
Yeah, it was a dangerous play. You're right. It looks like the pitch almost took him by surprise. 4th and 3 coming up. The Bobcats have already converted on a 4th down play. And a handoff to Hamrick, left side. He's going to pick up a yard, but that's about it. By the way, that was Jones Hunter. I thought that they'd subbed him out there for a quick second, but that Jones Hunter, that is him still out there. I was like, I was wondering quickly if he wasn't hurt or something. Because it looked like 19 for a second.
Yep.
But it's 15.
Hamrick limping off too a little bit, but
yeah, he got hurt a little last week as well, but he's a warrior.
And again, he does, the punt returns, kick returns, defense, running, there's a lot going on. He kind of like Hunter for Colorado, just kind of does it on both ends.
Good call.
Snaps and snaps.
McNeil finds his man down the seam. Beautiful pass over the defense, dropped it in, and found his guy. Beautiful throw and catch. That's number 30, John Peterson, with the catch. And that's going to be down to the 41-yard line. A 19-yard gain. That was a beautiful throw by Colton McNeil. He's thrown for 581 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. And dropped that one right where he needed it. 4 wide for McNeil this time, 3 to the near side. He rolls out, flushed out of the pocket. Going to try to throw on the run, throws down the field, and it is broken up. Tried to get it to Gainey, and Charlie Biscard in the backfield, in the defensive backfield, sticks a hand up and knocks it away. Nice defensive play for Charlie Biscard of the Bobcats.
Huge deflection, because I think if he doesn't get that left hand on it, I'm guessing that's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. Another great throw by McNeil, kind of on the run too, but Bisgard, huge deflection there. Sometimes that's all it takes is an extra finger or two to deflect it, like Bisgard there. Huge stop by the Bobcats on first down.
You're right, it looked like an on-target pass. Bisgard just knocked her down. McNeil in the gun. Back to pass, looking to his right, flushed out again. Rolling, and he's going to look for some yards on the far sideline. He'll pick up a couple. The initial defender through the line, or around the end rather, was Gabriel Stern. Coming off that right edge, flushed him out. He does pick up a couple of yards. 3rd and 7 coming up. He picks up 3. We're at 3:09 to go here in this first quarter. Still scoreless. Each team has had a couple of possessions here. And this has been the best one for Huron so far. 4 wide for Huron, 3 to the right side, one of them an H-back. Back to pass. McNeil goes quickly out to his receiver, bobbles it, and in the meantime he is hit and taken down by Gavin Hamrick. I'm sorry, that's Jay Harris, 22, not 23. The intended receiver was Ethan Bush. Nice job by Harris, showing that he was right about a half a step behind Bush, and Bush bobbled it, and that gave Harris the time he needed to hit him and make sure he couldn't come up with that ball. Colton McNeil will be in the gun again here. He'll have 2 wide to the right with an H-back and 1 wide to the left side, to our near side. Back to pass. A good pocket. Got Happy Feet scrambling out, throws, and finds his man, Moting, across the 20, down to the 15, down to the 14-yard line. That is going to be a 23-yard gain. McNeil looked like he had a clean pocket. He started to, I think the internal clock started to wind down on him, and he thought, there's got to be somebody about to hit me. He scrambled out and made a nice little dart pass on the run.
And that's just good thing about having a mobile quarterback like that. He goes out to the side 6 yards. Defense has to be aware that he's a chance to run it for those 6, but he's able to throw it on the run.
Hand off right away to Thackeray Hansen. Picks up about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Ball on the 13-yard line. 12-yard line, excuse me. So 2nd and 9 coming up for the Huron Tigers. They have been driving, mostly on the arm of Colton McNeil. Great quarterback name, too, by the way. Sounds like a gunslinger.
Colton.
Yeah, Colton. That's a good quarterback name. Coming up on 2 to play in the first quarter. We're still scoreless. Huron threatening here, though, inside the 15. Wide receiver to either side. And we're going to get a whistle and a timeout on the field. Huron takes the timeout. We will take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Scoreless here at Dana J. Dykow Stadium. The Bobcats hosting the Huron Tigers. The Tigers threatening. 1:56 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Bobcats football. Powered by Brookings Auto Mall. Presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Bobcats football, 1:56 to go here in this first quarter, just under 2 minutes to play, and the Bobcats trying to hold the Tigers out of the end zone here. 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9. Ball at the 12-yard line. And hand off to Hansen. Hansen trying to get around the right edge. Cuts it up down the sideline. Finally hit out on that far sideline after a decent gain. I'll get the number on the person who knocked him out of bounds over there. Was that 56?
They get so far away from up here, all the numbers start to just look the same.
James Fitzpatrick was 56, I believe. I don't think that was him, though. I don't think it was 56 because their jerseys get bunched up and they're running around. It's hard to tell, so I'm not sure exactly who made that tackle. Try to keep an eye on that player and see if I can see their jersey number. But it is 3rd and 4 coming up. McNeil got hit as he almost threw a pick. Is sliding and trying to bring it in the end zone. Again, the jersey is askew.
Hamrick came from that.
Is that Hamrick?
Yep, he came from the, I guess our right side came in untouched blitz, and I think he was able to either, I couldn't tell if he deflected the pass, hit the arm or something, but great pressure there by Hamrick to apply the pressure, almost interception. That would have been.
By process of elimination, the player in the end zone who almost came up with the pick then was Jay Harris.
There we go.
22 and 23 making the plays there. McNeil throws it out into the flat, has a man, good blocking, lowers the shoulder inside the 5, down to about the 1-yard line. That's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers after the pass and run from Colton McNeil to Cashton Caudell. Just a quick pass out into the slot, and Caudell used his blocking well, almost scored. 1st and goal from the 1. Huron Tigers threatening here. Inside a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Score still at 0-0 right now for the moment. Bobcats looking to stiffen down here from the 1-yard line. A receiver to either side, an H-back to the right. McNeil hands off to Caudell, right side, hit, spins, and falls forward and is in for a touchdown. Tigers go up 6-0. 1:07 to go in this first quarter. That's our first score of the ball game. Bobcats going to have to try and come out on offense and answer. It's the first real good drive for the Tigers on the night. The Bobcats will be looking to do that on their first drive. Or on their next drive,
exactly.
Excuse me.
And that's something, too, Brookings can hopefully, obviously, coming out with a touchdown or points would be huge, but even having a drive, something like that, where they can, get into the flow of things, not have any of those quick 3-and-outs. Defense is pretty tired after that one. So, yeah, if Brookings can tie it up here, that'd be huge. If not, at least have a nice, decent length drive to get that offense flowing a little bit more, and also just give the defense a chance to catch their breath.
And the kick was no good. And we'll keep it right here. I want to say thanks to Stony Brook, fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. So 6-0. Bobcats will get the ball back. This will be the first kick for Huron, but it'll be the 3rd possession for the Bobcats. As they got the turnover on the first possession, got a punt. It was kind of a short one, and their previous 2 possessions were in Tigers territory.
Maybe that's not what they need. Maybe they need to start outside of Tigers territory. Maybe they just don't like it.
Or they could just return the kick for a touchdown.
That also.
Take the pressure off their offense a little bit. Well, we'll see what happens here. Kicker is number 89, Nick Kleinsaucer for the Huron Tigers. He's got it teed up on the 40. He's a lefty. Will Conrad and Gavin Hamrick, the deep backs for the Bobcats, standing around their own 5-yard line. Here comes the kick. Short, high, and it's going to bounce at about the 24. Picked up by Conrad, right up the right side. Got a little bit of room, hit, spun around, and backs his way across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That'll be about a 16-yard kick return, and the Bobcats have good field position. Again, not as good as the previous 2 drives, but pretty good.
And when he picked that off the bounce, I think he saw how big that hole was, and he knew he was excited. That's the right guy to do it with the speed he has. Huron just able to wrap him up around the ankles, but I think if he gets through that one, kind of similar to one on the first drive, too, I think he's going to the house. He just had a huge opening. Great blocking, too, from the Bobcats there.
Frustrating how quick they can close on you sometimes, but a nice return by Will Conrad. Jones Huntemer in the gun, 2 wide to his left side. Quick pass out into the slot is going to be tipped, and they're going to say it's an incomplete pass. John Peterson got his hands on it, or at least a hand. So he's 5'11", coming through and knocking that down. Got good air on that, knocked it down. So 2nd and 10 coming up. That could have been much worse for the Bobcats. Could have been a fumble, could have been a backward pass. Could have just been picked off by Peterson. He made a nice play. Huntemer in the gun, man in motion, H-back. That's Hamrick behind him now as he's got a full backfield. And he hands it off to Hamrick, right side. Got a little bit of room, stumbles across the 40, taken down from behind at the 45. That'll be a gain of about 8. 3rd and 2 coming up, so another 3rd and short for the Bobcats here. Probably not in 4-down territory here, though, so they want to pick it up on this down.
And like you said, this is their 3rd or 4th, I think, play of 2 yards or less. They like to just run it up the middle, see if they try something a little different here. Huron's been able to kind of smell that one out. So it's hopefully a little something different here to pick up 3 yards.
And we're going to get a whistle before the snap. He was going to hand it off to Will Conrad, who came in motion from that left slot to stand behind Huntemer. And we've got must be an equipment issue.
Equipment injury or something. Hamrick came off.
Must have had something snapped up, or I don't know what's going on there. It looked like anybody's attending to him.
No, he knew to come off too. So yeah, like you said, I don't know if it was something with the equipment, but he knew to come off and he came right off. So I couldn't tell you.
He's getting a drink of water now, gearing back up. I backfield behind Huntemer. He's going to be under center here, an H-back. Conrad on his right and wide out Dougie Thomas. And we're going to get a whistle, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. After 1, it is Huron 6-0. Bobcats 3rd and 2 from their own 45-yard line when we start the second quarter. We'll flip ends and do that. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Yeah, it was weird. He just came off, knew it. Yeah, he's just, it's almost just like a substitution. Yeah, I'll take one.
Is this like hockey?
Yeah, just
hockey lines.
Line change quick.
Bobcats football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. We appreciate you joining us for Friday Night Football here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. 6-0 after 1 quarter of play. Bobcats with the ball 3rd and 2 from their own 45. Now going right to left from our vantage point in the press box at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. I backfield behind Huntemer under the gun, fakes the pitch and tried to hand it off on a H-back counter, and was unable to get it to Will Conrad. The ball is on the turf, and I believe the Tigers got it by their reaction. They do. And I believe C.J. Gainey just handed the ball to the ref. I'm not sure if he's the one who came up with the fumble recovery, but the Tigers have it. So turnabout is fair play. Bobcats have recovered a fumble, and now the Tigers have done it on defense.
And that was a play they'd run a couple times too. Connemer gives that sell on the high pitch, but it's something I think Huron knows. Brookings likes to do that play, and they were just kind of ready for it. And it looked like the play was just a little too high for Conrad to hold it before he just dropped it for the fumble.
Timing is key too, and it looked like they were just a bit off on that one. Pass out to the right side, caught, and there to make the tackle was Will Conrad. On the catch for the Huron Tigers is number 14, Peyton Bischoff. It's going to be a gain of 9. Quick hitter off the right side. Quick pick up a 9. 2nd and 1 coming up. Ball on the 34 of the Bobcats. All of a sudden, Tigers get a turnover and they're threatening again. McNeil in the gun, 4 wide. One to his near side, the right side, and tries to go to that receiver, C.J. Gainey, but it's a low throw. Gainey dove, but unable to pick it up off the turf. Incomplete, 3rd and 1 upcoming. It was just a bad pass. He had him and just...
A little too far out in front.
Yeah, just couldn't hit him in stride. He looked like he tried to rocket it to him a little too much. He probably needed to try to take some off of that. He just turfed it. 11:19 to go in the first half. Tigers lead 6-0 over the Bobcats, and Huron has the ball. A lot of motion here, a lot of movement for the Tigers. Now Moding coming in motion, a little jet sweep, handoff to him. He's hit, and he's taken down for no gain. May have lost a yard. Nice job by the Bobcats defense, not letting any of that window dressing throw him off. It's going to be 4th and 2 coming up here. They had about 4 different guys moving before that play, like an old CFL.
Just a lot going on.
Yeah. Went to the Bobcats, stayed home, and didn't let them get anything out of it. Actually, they lost a yard. Moding out wide left, Gainey out wide to the near side, to the right of Colton McNeil. He's going to hand it off right at left side to Caudell. Oh no, I'm sorry, they faked the handoff and gave it, I believe, to the H-back. And that's going to be just enough for a first down. I didn't even see who got the ball there. Was that 32?
I couldn't tell if it was 32 or 22. Both of them were coming off.
That would be a Holden Hag.
But then I think I thought PA just said McNeil on the carry. Did he keep it himself?
Man, that was a great fake because I did not know what was going on there. Looked like he just handed it off to Caudell. And I think you're right, though. I think McNeil did end up keeping that. He had an H-back in motion as well. He just followed him from the block, I believe. McNeil now back to pass, flushed out, rolling to his right, in traffic, throwing, and incomplete. Looked like he found his man Moding, but there to knock it away before he fell out of bounds was Will Conrad. Nice defensive play by Conrad. Closing speed for Conrad, and then he used his hands well on that play. Looked like they were going to complete that.
Brookings done a nice job of breaking up passes like that. Harris had one too in the first half on the bobble. They've done a really nice job of getting there and breaking up the passes, or at least causing the defender to have to think a little bit. Nice play there by Conrad.
Back to pass. Throws over the seam. Has his man. He's inside the 10. It's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. That is Peyton Bischoff from 33 yards out. A quick strike down the right seam. And the Tigers back on the board. 12-0 Huron. That was a nice throw by Colton McNeil. He was running free, but he had to drop it over the defense to get it to him, and to the right side of the safety coming down as well. A nice pass by McNeil, nice catch by Bischoff. And he rumbles the rest of the way about 9 yards after he caught it. Just like that, 12-0, a two-score game. Bobcats are going to need a good offensive drive coming up here. This has become a too familiar sight here early in the season. Being down a couple of scores and seeing a goose egg on the board.
That's just it too. It's one thing, I think, if you're down at half, but it's another thing when you just haven't scored the first couple games. That's also lingering in their mind. But once they can get on the board, even if it is a field goal, that'll make a difference knowing that they have what it takes to score, but they got to do it sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one with them. Huron took another timeout. It's 12-0 Huron. The extra point pending when we return in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Bobcats football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. The Bobcats on defense for the 2-point conversion. A quick pass out in the flat from McNeil to Caudell, and Caudell catches it and waltzes into the end zone with no defender in sight. And it is going to be 14-0 Huron, as they're trying to make up that point. Missed the extra point on the first touchdown. Come up with 2 here. So 14-0 Huron. We'll take another break and we'll be back with the kickoff in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Number 89, Nick Kleinsaucer on the kick for the Tigers. Deep to receive was Henrik and Conrad.
Bobcats football powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. Nick Kleinsaucer, the left-footed kicker, has it teed up on his own 40. He'll be kicking it left to right here. Will Conrad and Gavin Hamrick deep. Low line drive kick taken by Conrad at the 7. Up the middle. Weaving through a tackle on the right side. Trying to find the edge. He's got speed. Could he go all the way? He is going to go! Will Conrad! 97 yards, and he's got the Bobcats on the board for the first time this season.
And we saw that too, the last kick. He had that huge hole right side. He just wasn't able to get through it. This time he was able to get to the right side, had some great blocking, and that is where that speed comes into play. Conrad, 97 yards to the house.
What a shot in the arm that is for a Brookings Bobcats team that has not scored a point all year. Man, did they need that. That is just what they needed. There's something to get the momentum swung in their favor. And once the offense sees that, who knows? That just
exactly. That's all, like we said, that's kind of all it takes, whether it was a defense, touchdown, offense, whatever it was, just getting on the board will be huge momentum for this Bobcats team. It was definitely needed, and it came at a perfect time.
Extra point for Drew Johnson is no good. Must have pushed or actually hooked it left. Looked like it was good from here, but brought it left and no good. It's 14-6, but the Tigers are on the board. 9:36 to go. Just like that, a 97-yard kickoff return, like he shot out of a gun. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the kickoff back to the Tigers. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
He is quick.
Man,
he got out
once
there.
He got that edge, it was over.
Hopefully the defense is ready.
Man, no kidding.
Nice to get on the board, but after a long drive like that,
yeah. Damn it, Will.
Couldn't have slowed down or something for us.
No kidding. Bobcats football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. The Bobcats on the board, 14-6. They missed the extra point. A 97-yard kickoff return by Will Conrad gets them on the board for the first time this season. So out there to kick it back is going to be Drew Johnson for the Bobcats. And back deep for the Tigers, going to be Ethan Bush and Thackeray Johnson. So here's the kick, right to left from the Bobcats. Johnson puts his foot into it. High and over end kick taken at the 14-yard line. And that is by number 21, Ethan Bush. Runs up the middle, hit, driven back, gets out to about the 20. Oh no, they're going to put him at the 31. He was driven back to the 26 after he got hit, when he's out to the 31. So not a bad return on the kick by the Huron Tigers. They'll start 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Want to say thanks to Anderson Insurance, sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Along with Alec Johnson at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium, I'm Barry Hine with you in the press box. Drew Schnabel back in the Brookings Radio Sports Network studio. engineering tonight. Colton McNeil back in the gun. Slot man in motion from left to right. Fake the handoff, keeping it as McNeil. Not able to find an alley. Hit and taken down hard after a gain of maybe 2. And that is big Joey Fitzpatrick.
Body slam almost.
Yeah, in the NFL, he may have been penalized for that. Of course, it wasn't a sack. He gained a couple yards, so he's a runner, so maybe not. But 2nd and 8 coming up. He hit him and drove him back and picked him up and just slammed him to the turf. McNeil's going to feel that. It's going to be an ice bath in the future for that young man. 3 wide to the near side, and H-back to the left of McNeil. Back to pass, looking to his right. Goes out in the flat and finds Gainey. Gainey makes 1 tackler miss. Unable to make Jay Harris miss, though. Taken down at the 41. He's going to be close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. They're going to give it to him. Nice job by Gainey. Made that first man miss. Harris made a nice tackle, but it wasn't enough to keep Gainey from getting just enough for the first down.
And again, this is a defense that's probably a little tired, not getting much of a break after the Conrad kickoff return touchdown. And again, Brookings extremely pleased for that. The defense, though,
hard to be
probably
mad.
Exactly, can't be mad with it, but the defense was probably hoping for a maybe extra minute or 2, so tough for them to come right back out against this Huron offense.
Hand off to Caudell, hit Ethan Houtman, the first man there. And then Caudell pinballed around to about the 44-yard line. So they're going to be 2nd and 7 here as they'll give him 3 yards. Ball out to the 44. Got to get to the 50, or the, I was about to say the 51-yard line. The 49-yard line. You start counting back down once you get to midfield, right? Forget. 49-yard line, just across midfield. McNeil over the center. It's picked off. Taking it back the other way is Tetzloff. Bergen Tetzloff stepped in front of it, and he returns it inside the 30 for the Brookings Bobcats. They'll mark him at the 30. Big play for that tired defense of the Bobcats. That's how you get off the field. Nice job by Bergen Tetzloff just staying home. And the pass came right to him.
I was going to say, I don't know if McNeil saw Bergen or what, but like you said, the throw almost was directly to Tetzloff, so excellent job there by Bergen to just kind of stay home. Easy interception, huge play. Maybe the defense plays a little better when they are exhausted, so maybe we just need more kickoff returns, send them right back out. Huge play there by Tetzloff.
That kickoff return did swing the momentum. And he's had some defensive looks like that already, McNeil, but he's been able to drop it over the defender and get it to his receiver. He was just unable to do it. He rifled that one. Hand off right side of Hamrick, looking for an alley, unable to find one. But he tries to work his way forward and picks up a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Just not much doing there. Did what he could to get a yard. And he is bent over at the waist. Now he's back up. I think he may need a...
I mean, he's been getting hit a lot tonight. He had that gain of 7 to start the game, but then it's been everywhere from just a yard, minus a yard. He's just not getting a whole lot of gaps to go. He kind of just goes up the middle, and that Huron defensive line are some big dudes, and they've been hitting him hard tonight.
Looked like he was maybe asking for a sub, but they're going to leave him out there. Now we're going to get a timeout by the Bobcats. 6:49 to go, 14-6. The Bobcats on the board for the first time after that kickoff return by Will Conrad. Now they've got the ball back after an interception by Bergen Tetzloff. It will be 2nd and 9 when we come back in 30 seconds. 6:49 to go in the first half. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
You can visit the Bobcat Backers website at www.thebobcatbackers.com.
I've been trying to find Tetzloff all night. I didn't even know if he was playing because I hadn't heard his name yet.
Yeah, they haven't thrown it to him.
No.
6:49 to go. Bobcats football presented by Brookings Auto Mall. Powered by Brookings Auto Mall. Presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. And we've got 6:49 to go in this first half. Bobcats 2nd and 9. Ball on the 29 of the Tigers. Hunnemer in the gun. 2 wide to his right side and H-back to his left, and now he is in motion. That's Mathis. Going to hand it off. Nope, fake it.
Great
Play
fake.
action. Rolling out to his right and had a man, Bergen-Tetzlaff. A little bit of a low throw and unable to connect. Incomplete. It would have been close to a first down if he caught it and been tackled right away, but he's unable to come up with it. A little bit of a rolling out pass. Tough to throw on the run. But Bergen-Tetzlaff was open. And after he made that big play, the interception, who knows, maybe he gathers that in and takes it to the house.
Exactly.
3rd and 9 coming up. 2 wide to the right side, far side of the field for Hunnemer, and H-back there as well. Quick pass out to the right, and too tall for Dougie Thomas, unable to bring it in. There on the coverage was Logan Leyendecker. What it'll be 4th and 9. Bobcats in 4-down territory. But 4th and 9, not favorable.
No. But again, like you said, you're just in that territory where you're not going to kick a 46-yard field goal, and a punt from this distance likely would be a touchback. So I mean, you really just got to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's the best plan of action.
Worst case, they get it at the 29.
Here's the snap in the gun as Hunnemer goes left side to Conrad. Conrad started looking upfield to make a play before he brought the ball in, and he puts it on the turf, incomplete. I don't know if he'd have been able to get the first down anyway. Gainey was closing in quick, but he would have had a chance had he brought it in.
And like you said, I think he saw that too. I think he saw it was just him and the defender, so he started to kind of turn and run, hoping to have the ball, but I think he turned his head just a little too quick. Drop pass, but still nonetheless, Huron only gets it at the 29. It's not the end of the world, but if Brookings can get a stop here and try and get on the board one last time, they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, so momentum could still be on their side here if they can get a stop on this drive.
Caudell weaving his way through the defenders, and he'll be close to a first down. Will depend on the spot. Just a handoff right up the gut, and he just sort of zigzagged his way for 9 or 10. I'm going to say he did not pick it up.
Nice.
2nd and a yard. Bergen-Tetzlaff made the stop. Coming up on 6 minutes to play here in this first half. McNeil in the gun. Back to pass, looking to his left. Pump fakes, rolls out to his left, and had he thrown it, he may have been past the line of scrimmage, but he runs for an easy first down out to the 44. Gain of about 6 there when they needed about less than a yard. Yeah, he is hard to keep tabs on out there running around. He's quick and fast.
Good things to be as a quarterback.
Yes, they are.
Mobile, quick, fast. It's just always keeping the defense on his toes. You don't know what he's going to do. Like you said, he's got just about 100 yards passing, so they know he can throw it, but he's also got himself a few yards on the ground. So when you're able to do both things, it just makes it tougher on the defense.
He can sling it around pretty well, too, that's for sure. Back to pass, in trouble, and rolls away from it. Now rolling to his left, going to set up and throw on the run. And he's going to have enough for a first down. He found his man at the 45 of the Bobcats. And on the catch was Moding. Gain of about 11 there. And there was that elusiveness you were talking about, Alec Johnson. Colt McNeil looked like they were going to be able to close in and make a play, and he rolls out of it. Kind of Russell Wilson style.
Yep.
Much as it pains me to say that out loud as a 49ers fan. 3 wide. Hand off to Caudell right side. Breaks through an arm tackle and dragged down. But he's going to be close to another first down. That's another quick 9-yard strike. It was just the same play they got 9 yards on a couple plays ago, I believe. And it'll be 2nd and 1 once again. Bobcats have had the momentum in their favor a couple of times. They've been unable to capitalize after turnovers. McNeil in the gun. Fakes the handoff, goes out in the flat, has Moding. Moding's got the first down. Motors across the 30, breaks through a tackle, sidesteps another across the 20, down to the 18-yard line. That's going to be an 18-yard gain. Just a quick pass out into the flat, and Moding does the rest. Speaking of quickness, he's got some of his own.
Very shifty. Moding is exactly like right there. Looked like he was about to step out. He takes one juke to the right, stays inbounds, gains an extra 7-8 yards just off of that move alone.
So 1st and 10 in the red zone now from the 18-yard line. Inside 4 minutes to play in this first half. It is 14-6 Huron, and they are threatening once again. In the gun. McNeil hands off to Caudell. Hit right away. Taken down for no gain. He just kind of eased his way into the line, hoping for a hole to open up, because they have the last few times. He was a bit surprised that one was closed, I believe.
Little wake-up call right there.
Yeah, nice job by the defense. Not giving him anywhere to go. He just kind of bent at the knees and sort of trudged forward, waiting for something to open, and it never did. 2nd and 10 coming up, ball at the 18 of the Bobcats, for the Tigers. And McNeil in the gun, 2 wide to his near side and an H-back. Throws it out in the flat and has his man. Nice open field tackle. That could have been a big play. Coming up, Ethan Hauptman made the tackle on, that is number 9, Thackeray Hansen. So Ethan Hauptman keeps that. Had he not made that tackle, that would have been a big play for Huron.
Yeah,
and he
for
lost
huge.
a yard.
With the speed that Hansen has too on that outside edge, definitely would have been a first down, if not possibly more. Amazing open field tackle there by Hauptman.
3rd and 11, ball back on the 19. McNeil back to pass again. Lofts it over. The defender's on the left side, finds his man. Beautiful pass. That's Moding in the end zone. Another touchdown for the Tigers. And it is 20-6. He's lofted it over the defense into the end zone. There were 2 defenders there, but they were behind the receiver Moding by a couple of yards. And that was enough for McNeil to drop it over the top. And he wasn't set up. He threw that off kilter and still got it there. And it looked good. 20-6. 2:17 to go. Nick Kleinsasser on to kick the extra point for the Huron Tigers. Peterson, the long snapper, gets it to him. The lefty's extra point is good. He's 1 for 2 for extra points now on the night. He has the Tigers up 21-6 as well with 2:17 to play in this first half. We'll be back with the kickoff back to the Bobcats in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. We have got 2:17 to play here in this first half, and the Tigers back on the board, 21-6. They lead over your Brookings Bobcats. Bobcats football brought to you by, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. Well, back to receive the kick again is going to be Gavin Hamrick and Will Conrad. They'll be on about their own 7-yard line. Kleinsasser has it teed up again at the 40. Here comes the kick from Kleinsasser. He's been kicking them high and short. This one deep. And about the 7, Hamrick dropped it, picks it up, runs back up right side, hit, spun around, taken down at about the 17. We've got a flag on the near sideline as well, and we'll await the call on that. For now, it looks like the Bobcats will set up 1st and 10. They're going to move it to the 17, back to the 17-yard line. But we'll await the official call here from Brian Wedham. 2:11 to go in the first half. I want to say thanks to Central Bank Fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. The hold on the Bobcats. And they said it was on Spencer Bakar. Am I saying that right? Spencer Bakar with the hold. And then I'll move the Bobcats back further.
Here's where ideally you go 70, was it almost 80,
Yeah, 92 yards.
92 yards to score. Realistically, though, if you can't do that, you just at least get to halftime down 21-6. Last thing you want to do is have a quick 3-and-out, give Huron a chance to add to their 15-point lead. So Brookings hopefully here has a decent drive. Scoring would be awesome, if not getting to halftime without letting Huron score anymore.
Hunnemer in trouble, gets hit, loses the ball, it's picked up and taken out back across the 5 out to about the original line of scrimmage at the 9. And who picked that up?
I could not tell if it was an offensive lineman or if it was... That was almost just an absolute radio jinx of me saying get out of here without scoring. They almost picked up that fumble and just walked right into the end zone.
It might have been Andrew Hahn. It was either Andrew Hahn or... Yeah, it was Andrew Hahn. Jones Hunnemer back to pass, throws it out and over the head of his receiver, Alex Wainman. And Wainman was open there. Hunnemer just threw it over his head out of bounds. We've got 3rd and long coming up. At the 9, they need to get to the 27. So that'd be 3rd and 18. So we've got that for the Bobcats coming up here. 2 wide to the near side, the short side of the field. And now coming out of the slot is going to be Will Conrad. He's behind Hunnemer. I'll hand it off to Conrad. He tries to bounce it outside. He's going to be swung down at the 10. A gain of maybe 1. And that's John Peterson with the stop. And it'll be 4th and long. And Huron takes a quick timeout to stop the clock with 1:25 to go. So that the Bobcats can't run more time before punting this one. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Bobcats trailing 21-6 to Huron and about to punt it back to the Tigers deep in their own territory. Are the Bobcats with 1:25 to go. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Excuse me. Well, that's not what they needed.
No. Fourth and about 17 coming up here for the Tigers. Drew Johnson will walk back into his own end zone, and he'll punt it away. Ethan Bush deep to return the punt. Back on his own, or back on the Brookings 45. Waiting the punt from Johnson here. Good snap. Johnson punts it. High, wobbly kick, taken at the 40, and he drops it.
Oh!
Picked up by Conrad. He may have another special teams touchdown. C.J. Gainey trying to catch him, and he will not do it. Maybe the 2 fastest guys on the field right there, and Will Conrad wins out. He picks up the fumble on the punt return and takes it all the way back.
No ref ran with them.
Yeah, I don't know if they can they not advance that.
It looks like this ref's sitting at about the 37, pointing first down. But I thought it happened
closer to midfield.
That's what I thought too, and it looks like it's not going to be a touchdown. So
yeah.
It must be like you had said, can't advance on a fumble.
No. It was fun anyway. But yeah, I'm wondering about the spot right now.
So yes, can't advance on a muffed punt, but still, that's best case scenario for granted, touchdown would have been even better, but the fact that they're going to get out of here with the ball, a minute 9, a chance to score, opposite of that, Huron has the ball at the 50 with a minute 9.
Yeah.
They also could have made it easily
Yes.
a 28-6 ball game right before half.
Works out in Bobcats' favor no matter how you slice it. Just not quite what they were hoping for.
Just all that running for Conrad for
Yeah.
nothing.
I'm just puzzled by the spot.
I thought so too. It was right around I thought 50, but
Trying to think back. No, actually, you know what? That was about right because I remember saying the 40. I think it was right. I think they got it right. So we've got in the gun now is Hunnemer. Hunnemer rolling to his right, throws it low, and Wainman can't catch it. It hits the turf, and that'll stop the clock with a minute 5 to go. Hunnemer trying to find the accuracy. He's overthrown some and underthrown a couple. Trying to find the sweet spot. I want to say thanks to Brookings Health System, another fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Hunnemer in the gun, 2 wide to the near side of the field, the short side, and H-back to his right. And Harris in the backfield to block. Throws left side, tipped up in the air by Moding, and caught by Alex Wainman at the 43 in Huron territory. 20-yard gain. Got tipped by Moding. Nice heads-up play by Alex Wainman, keeping his head about him and keeping his feet in bounds.
that's all it took for that first completion. Just needed to be tipped by Huron. None of the open passing wasn't working, so why not have Huron deflect it right into the hands of Wainman?
Low snap. Hunnemer goes down to get it, throws it out, and has his man, Wainman again, who runs around to tackle and is taken down at the 29-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of 14 as they move the sticks again. Clock will stop as the sticks reposition with 51 seconds to go. Just like that, the Bobcats are driving. Huge turn of events here. Hunnemer in the gun. 2 wide to the near side is left, and an H-back to his left, and a running back to his left. That is Harris. Low snap, he picks it up, finds his man across the 25, across the 20, down to the 15. That is Gavin Hamrick at the 15-yard line. 14-yard gain. So the Bobcats getting plays in chunks here just before halftime with 38 seconds to play. That was a nice job by Hunnemer stepping up in the pocket and getting rid of that ball and putting it right on target where Hammer could grab it in stride.
Exactly. Like we had said, it's almost a turn of events. The touchdown on that muff punt would have been huge, but now it's starting to click for the Bobcats. 3 straight completions, double-digit yards. Wainman with a couple big ones. Hamrick right there with a big one. So, 38 seconds left. Huge here for Brookings to get on the board. A touchdown to get them down to a one-possession game and getting the ball to start the third quarter.
Absolutely. We've got a timeout on the field with 38 seconds to go. Bobcats driving. Moments ago, it looked like they were going to have to punt it. Well, they did have to punt it from their own end zone, as that's where Drew Johnson punted it from. It's a fumble by the Tigers. It looked like the Bobcats returned the fumble for a touchdown. You can't advance a fumble in high school football on a punt, and so they bring it back. But now the Bobcats are driving. So like you said, at least they're going to go in probably no worse than 21-6, but they're driving and could score before half. Out of the timeout, it is 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of the Tigers for the Bobcats. Hunnemer in the gun, 2 wide to his right, the far side of the field. Now we've got a whistle before the play. And I don't know.
Hamrick.
They sent Hamrick off again.
But I'm not sure what. And
Must be
because
someone-
this happened before,
Yeah.
because then.
If he just has a snap, unsnapped or something, and once that happens, they have to send you out for a play or something?
Must be something, because he comes off. He's not injured or anything, but it's like he knows it because he comes off and then.
Maybe he just has a bad snap on that helmet. Keeps coming undone. Snap to Hunnemer. He goes over the middle, finds his man. Bergen Tetzlaff fighting many Tigers to try to break through. And he gets down to the 11. Big, strong kid is Tetzlaff. We'll get another quick timeout by the Bobcats with 31 seconds to go here, just to stop the clock. Oh, we had a flag on the play, sorry. Referees discussing at the 11-yard line. Here comes the official call. It's going to be on Huron.
Personal foul.
Face mask. So that helps the Bobcats. They don't have to take a timeout. Moves them closer to the end zone, and they've got 1st and goal from the 5. Ball on the left hash. Hunter going to be in the gun. Harris to his left in the backfield. Right H-back is going to be Hamrick. He's got Will Conrad in the slot to the left, and out wide is Alex Wainman. Alex Wainman getting talked to by the referee now. They say, hey, we're waiting for our white hat to get back out here, everybody. Calm down. 1st and goal from the 5. Hunter in the gun. Here's the snap. Quickly to his left. Oh, and he had his man. He just dropped it. Conrad pounding on his own helmet. Upset with himself for dropping that. The pass was there. He just didn't bring it in. And Hunter runs up to him quickly, says, don't worry about it. You'll get another shot. That's leadership right there.
Exactly. He had another one like that, too, earlier on where he had that catch and turn where he had, I think it was the 4th and 9. He almost knew he could get the first down. Dropped it, though, was anticipating the catch. So you like to see, like you had said, Jones go over and say, don't worry about it. I'll find you again.
Hunter back in the gun, same set for the Bobcats. Now Conrad in motion from the slot. They try to hand it off to him on a jet sweep. They do. He's hit right away, though, and taken down in the backfield for a loss. And there on the tackle was Kobe Hofer. So it'll be 3rd and goal. Back on the 14-yard line now. With 22 seconds to go here. Brookings takes a timeout. We'll take a quick one with them. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Century 21 Equipment and Company backs all Bobcat athletic activities. Let our team of agents be the home team advantage for all your real estate needs. Find us at century21bookings.com and go Bobcats.
Bobcats football powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. We appreciate you joining us for Friday Night Football. It's been a lot that's happened in this first half. 21-6, Huron leads. Bobcats a chance to punch it in here before halftime. 3rd and goal after the big loss, back on their own 14, or back on the Huron 14 rather.
You got to expect here throw a fade or something to the end zone. Can't really have anything get inbounds with it being 4th down. They have to rush the field goal unit out there.
Hunter back to pass. Finds his man, left side, and he runs out of bounds. And that's going to be Gavin Hamrick, taken out of bounds by John Peterson at the 9, a gain of about 5. 4th and goal from the 9. Wondering if they might try to maybe kick it here. But they are going to go for it, it looks like. Be about a 26-yard field goal. Hunter in the gun, 2 wide to his right side. Hamrick, the H-back on the right. Harris, the running back, next to Hunter. Hunter double clutches, throws it in the end zone, picked off. And he may have a lane out in front. And he's going to take it down the far sideline. He may be gone. This is disastrous for the Bobcats, taking it all the way the other way, 100 yards for a touchdown after the interception is number, trying to get a number on him here. Oh, that was C.J. Gainey, number 18. Should have figured with the speed. C.J. Gainey picks it off in the end zone, takes it 100 yards for a score, and just like that, you're thinking the Bobcats could get back within a score. And they give one up just before halftime, and they'll trail. Well, it's 27-6 now with the extra point pending. That's a killer.
Like you said, just when you kind of expected, almost worst case, 21-6, get the ball to start the second half. Potential 4th down conversion to score. The last possible thing you wanted to happen is actually what happened. Extra point is good, now making it at 28-6 here on lead going into half.
Man, there are zeros on the clock, so it is halftime. We will take a 4-minute break, and we'll come back and talk about the events of that first half. Plenty to talk about, as a lot happened in that first half, but it is 28-6 Huron after the first half. We'll take a 4-minute break, and we will be back to talk about the first half of action when we return. Bobcats football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, along with Alec Johnson. I'm Barry Hine at Dana J. Dykow Stadium in the press box, and Drew Schnabel back in the Brookings Radio Sports Network studio, doing a great job engineering tonight. A 4-minute break, and we'll be back starting your halftime. Coming up next, you're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Who returned that?
Gainey, CJ Gainey, number 18.
Okay.
My little cousin, by the way.
Gainey? Oh. Who knew?
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the football field where BHS Director of Activities Jeff Lark and Hall of Fame Coordinator Steve Bursack will induct the new members of the Brookings High School Sports Hall of Fame. The class of 2023 includes Lorna Vandenberg, class of 1977. Lorna Vandenberg was among the girls' sports pioneers of BHS. As a junior, Lorna was the team captain for the inaugural 1975 basketball season when girls played in the fall. She led the Bobcats to a 14-3 season record and runner-up finish in the ESD conference. The 1976-77 Bobcats finished the regular season with a 14-4 record and third place in the ESD, but their season ended unexpectedly on an opponent's basket with 5 seconds left in the Section 1 state championship game. As a senior, Lorna was a team captain, earning MVP and All-State honors while posting 276 points and 233 rebounds, which is a season record, in addition to 18 rebounds in a game. BHS added volleyball during Lorna's senior year with 20 athletes that were new to the sport. The Bobcats finished first in the Alpha 5 conference. Vandenberg played basketball at South Dakota State University. Stephen Malone, class of 1979. Steve Malone was a three-sport stalwart at BHS. As a senior football player, Malone was a three-way contributor with 8 pass receptions, 39 tackles, and 27 punts with a 39.5-yard average. That winter, Steve served as a co-captain while leading the basketball team to a 14-9 season, as well as the SDHSAA Consolation Championship by scoring 32 points in a win against number one ranked Sioux Falls Lincoln, earning team MVP, All-State Tournament, and second-team All-State honors. For the season, he scored 391 points, 17 per game with a 58% field goal average, 130 rebounds, and 20 steals. Malone was also a middle distance runner on the track team as the Bobcats won a Region 5 team title. Steve ran the 2-mile relay team that set a BHS record that converts to an 8:04 time for the 4x8 relay, and is still BHS's number 3 all-time winner. Malone played basketball at South Dakota School of Mines. Jordan Paula, class of 2005. Jordan Paula earned letters in 3 sports at BHS. Paula was a running back and linebacker for the Bobcats. As a senior, Jordan earned all ESD and All-State football honors and was named Registered Player of the Year to the Argus Leader Elite 45 team as a result of 1,280 rushing yards, 15 kick returns, and 17 touchdowns. Paula was also a physical post player on the basketball team, averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds per game, and receiving all ESD and academic All-State honors. Jordan excelled on track, all ESD twice with BHS records for the 100-meter dash at 10.8, now BHS number 2. 4x1 relay, still number 1 at BHS, and the 4x2 relay, now number 2 at BHS. Jordan also earned BHS club soccer letters and was a BHS scholar athlete. Paula received 4 football and 2 track letters from South Dakota State University. Kelly Horner, class of 2006. Kelly is one of few to earn 12 BHS letters and received the SBHSAA Elite 15 award. She is on the BHS top 10 volleyball list for blocks and kills. As a senior, the Bobcat finished with a 17-7 record and the state consolation title. Kelly was twice selected to All-ESD, a versatile basketball player. Kelly earned All-ESD recognition on 3 occasions. As a sophomore, the Cats won the state tournament, and in her junior year, the Bobcats were 20-4, ESD champions, and state runners. As a senior, BHS had 22 wins and 2 losses, winning the ESD title and finishing 3rd at the state basketball tournament, and Kelly was chosen to the all-tournament team. A 2-time track co-MVP, Kelly won the ESD, 2 ESD and high jump titles, and was state champion as a senior with 5'4" as her best and a 3 in the BHS charts. Kelly participated in basketball and track at USD. Bob Fishback, class of 1954. Bob Fishback was a student athlete and the Bobcats were highly competitive. The 1952 football team was selected as both ESD conference and mythical state football co-champions. Bobcat basketball squads won the 1952 ESD and state championships, in 53 state consolation title, and in 1954 the ESD championship. Bob was a football captain, president of both the student council and student body, member of the band and chorus, and Bobcat royalty. Fishback maintained a general interest in BHS as well as its sports teams and other student organizations, and was a benevolent contributor to the success of these programs. Bob reviewed the BHS sports marketing program with school officials during its development. The First Bank and Trust agreed to become the community partner. Fishback played basketball and football at Oberlin College. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2023 BHS Sports Hall of Fame. For your halftime performance, the Brookings High School Marching Band is directed by Mr. Isaac McMahon and assisted by Nick Roseman. Other staff members include Director Connor Hewitt, Percussion Advisor Adam Miller, Color Guard Advisor Rebecca Whistle, and technicians Kaden Rimling, Theo Nilsson, Marcus Nace, Tyson Hirschenberger, Brianna Ringenbach, Noah Stern, and Austin Tees. The design team includes Dr. Gord Miller, Brenda Hickman, Angela Huntman, and Reese Meltzberry. The Brookings High School Marching Band is proud to present its 2023 field show To the End of the Earth, featuring Seed Readers by Francis Macbeth, The Seahawk by Eric Korngold, The Frozen Cathedral by John Mackey, and original compositions by Ward Miller. We follow Franklin's historic 19th century expedition to the Arctic in search of the Northwest Passage. Drum majors, Alex Dearson, Olivia Lacrosteris, and Ramsey Zeller. Is your band ready?
To the frozen ocean in the month of May, to seek a passage around the pole, where we poor sailors do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships they mainly strove, they ship on mountains of ice and wave. In Baffin's Bay, where the whalefish roll, the fate of Franklin, no man may know.
The third year under the direction of Mr. Isaac McMahon and assistant Nick Grover, the VHS band strives for excellence in comprehensive programs and symphonic and concert bands, jazz ensembles, solo ensemble contests, competitive marching band, winter percussion ensemble, and color guard program. From 5th grade at Camelot with Mary Cosgrove, middle school with Jeff Suckup, or at the high school, the Bobcat band program strives to help students become not only great musicians, but also great leaders and people. The Bobcat band members would like to sincerely thank all their parents, the Brookings community, the school board, and administrators for their generous support of our program. Thank you also to all the local businesses who have donated time, energy, and money to the band this season. Lastly, a special thank you to the Brookings High School band boosters for their incredible support, and to the fans here to support the band as well as the football team. Enjoy the rest of the game, and go Bobcats.
just is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it.
Well, I just had a refresh, so I'm going to have to go back down here. 28-6 at halftime. Huron at Brookings, we know that score. Custer losing to the Rapid City Christian Comets in the second quarter, 7-0. Winner beating Beersford 12-6 in the second quarter. Pierre up big over Mitchell in the second quarter, 21-0. 22-7, Alcester Hudson Cubs leading over the Garrettson Blue Dragons. And let's see, scoreless Lyman and White River in the first. Also scoreless in the first, Harding County Bison County Ranchers and the Lemon McIntosh Co-op Cowboys. Kimball White Lake and Platte Geddes scoreless in the first. Kadoka and Wall scoreless in the first. Iroquois Lake Preston, Esteline Hendricks scoreless in the first. All these games I'm about to give you are scoreless in the first. Ipswich against Northwestern, Waverly South Shore and Hitchcock Tulare. Harriet Selby Area Co-op and Newell, Timberlake and Dupree. Man, these refresh and then just throw me off here. Let's see here, where did I last leave off with you? Dupree?
Yes.
I think is where the last one I said there. And let's see here. Looks like Waverly South Shore, Hitchcock Tulare, scoreless. Harriet Selby, I said that one. D. Smith and Oldham Ramona scoreless in the first. Coleman Egan and Howard scoreless in the first. Castlewood Del Rapids, Florence Henry and Canastota. Burke and Cologne, Gayville Vollen, Avon, Chester and Arlington. Mount Vernon, Plankinton Co-op, Jim River, Woonsocket Wessington and McCook Central Montrose, Sisseton and Tri-Valley as well. So a lot of scoreless in the firsts here. We're moments away from getting this first half started, or the second half started rather. The first half ends with the Bobcats trailing 28-6 to the Huron Tigers. We'll take one more 30-second break and we'll be back with the second half with the score again 28-6. Huron leading over Brookings at Dana J. Dakehouse Stadium in Brookings. Bobcats football powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. From way downtown. Not even close.
Didn't sound like a make.
I would have liked to lie about it, but you caught me. Bobcat football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. And the Bobcats will get the ball in the second half to start things off here. They'll wait to receive the kick. They'll be going left to right from our vantage point in the press box in this third quarter. And they'll need to get some things going here.
Which is possible. If I
Good first drive is a good way to start it.
Exactly. If I recall, Kirk Cousins was down 33-0 last year at half. People counted him out. And if I stand corrected, the largest comeback in NFL history. So, 28-6 is nothing for the Bobcats.
Oh, Quirky Kirky Cuz.
Kirk O'Chains.
Kirk O'Chains. Whatever nickname you want.
Exactly.
Low kick bounces at the 10-yard line, and it is taken by Dougie Thomas. And he takes it back across the 20 to about the 24-yard line. It was sort of a line drive wobbly kick. He was unable to handle it, but he picks it quickly up off the turf and picks up about another 13 yards, something like that. And the Bobcats will have first and 10 on their own 24. I want to say thanks to Bose Construction, fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. And Bobcats need a good first drive here. We'll see how they start things off in the second half. Too wide to the right side for Hunnemer. Now he's got Conrad in motion. They fake the jet sweep and they hand off to Hauptman, who bounces away from the pile, has room around the right edge across the 30, 35, lowers his shoulder at the 40, knocked out of bounds by Cashton Cardell at the 41-yard line. A quick gain of 17 on the first play of the second half for the Brookings Bobcats.
And that's one way to do it.
Went right up the gut, hit a pile, bounced off, realized nobody had a hold of him, and just
And a
took
little spin
off.
move to the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to that right side. Nice block by Hamrick down there to let Hauptman get out there to the outside. Big gain of 17 for the Cats.
1st and 10 at the 41. 2 wide to the wide side of the field, the left of Jones Hunnemer. Now he's got Conrad in motion again. They go the opposite way, and this handoff to Hauptman. Now he fumbles it. It's on the turf, and it would be a drive killer for the Bobcats, and they do give it up to the Huron Tigers. Second fumble recovery for Huron on the night. And I'm trying to get the number of who picked it up. It looks like number 74, Hunter Fensky. So 1st and 10, a good field position for the Huron Tigers, so they have a good positive play on first down. They just tried to flip the play and go to the other side. And that time, the fumble by Hauptman gives it right back to the Tigers. 1st and 10, 3 wide, 2 to the right of Colton McNeil, 1 to the near side. He's got an H-back as well. Slot in motion, hand off right side Caudell. Just going to kind of pick his way and rumble his way across the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Gain of about 5 there. We'll leave them with 2nd and 5 coming up. Never got any kind of a head of steam going. He just sort of
Kind of got behind. I was going to say, got behind one of that right side and just kind of moseyed his way on down for, like you said, gain of 4. It seemed like it could have been nothing, but
sort of half-stepped his way for that gain. They do give him 4 officially. 3 wide, 2 to the wide side of the field to the left of McNeil, the near side of the field. McNeil back to pass and pressured, may have bounced it to the receiver. They're going to say he caught it. That's John Peterson and Hauptman there on the tackle. 30, Peterson caught it. 30, Hauptman tackled him. Must have got his hands just underneath it before it hit the turf. So it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up here after the gain of 5. See if the Bobcats can come up with a stop here. On 3rd and short, it'll be 4 down territory, even if the Tigers don't get it. McNeil hands it off to Caudell. He's through the line. He tries to juke a tackler. He'll be taken down at the 22. And that is, I believe that's Hamrick on the tackle. It is, because Harris is over here near the sideline. So Gavin Hamrick comes up with the tackle, but not before a 1st down. Moving the sticks again for the Huron Tigers. Coming up on 10 minutes to play in the 3rd. 28-6 Huron. And they've got a fresh set of downs just outside the red zone. The snap to McNeil, fakes the handoff, goes out into the flat for Gainey. Gainey goes low to get it. Around one tackler, taken down from behind. Hauptman brought him down at the 23. Be a gain of about a yard. That can't be right. That'll be a gain of about, all right, I said the 23, didn't I? I meant the 17. So it's a gain of about 6. Here's the snap, handoff to Hansen, looking for some room around the right edge, turned back in and taken down by a host of Brookings Bobcats. Trying to get the number on the player who turned it in. I believe that was Jay Harris. Didn't let him outside. That was Jay Harris. Nice play. Didn't come up with the tackle. He kind of piled on at the end, but he kept that play from getting outside. That's where Hansen wanted to go.
big play. And again, to stop here, probably in that, again, 4 down territory. Not sure what Kleinsasser is like as a kicker, but 3rd and 9 here. If you can get a stop, make it 4th and 9, something a little more difficult than a 4th and short. That'd be huge stop after that fumble last possession by the Bobcats.
3rd and 9 here. 3 wide for McNeil. Back to pass. And they let the line through a middle screen, and they get it to their man across the 15. Breaks a tackle down to the
fumble.
And then the fumble, did the ball come out?
I
It
think
looks
so.
like it may have. The receiver on that middle screen was number 32, Holden Haig. Did the Bobcats come up with it? They did. They come up with the fumble, so they turn it right back over. Not right back over, but back over on the drive where they just gave the ball over to Huron. So nice job by the Bobcats defense coming up with a turnover of their own. There have been plenty of those this game. This almost feels like a first game of the season situation, but the Bobcats needed that. Momentum has swung many times in this game. Tigers have been able to capitalize a few more times on those swings. The Bobcats 1st and 10 deep in their own territory on the 8-yard line. They'll have to go 92 yards to score. 2 wide to the near side. H-back to the left of Hunnemer and a running back to his right. Hunnemer back to pass. Sets up, pump fake. Now goes over the middle and tipped. He had Harris. Just put a little too much on it. Might have needed to loft that just a little bit. Probably could have found it to him. I got it to him. I don't think he saw the defender there, number 22, Colby Hofer. So he had him, and man, that would have been a big play too.
It would have. And again, a lot of the incompletions tonight from Hunnemer have just been either, kind of like you just said, either too much on the throw, just missing him high. The throws haven't been bad at all. That one, again, deflected, but he's been right around the area all night. And again, as a sophomore, that's something that you will figure out the more you get experience playing at this varsity level.
A broken play. I think Hunnemer was planning on handing that off, and his running back just took off on him and left him there to try to figure out something to do, and he was just unable to do that. So they lose some yardage. 3rd and long, back on the 4-yard line. They've got to get to the 18 rather, for a first down. We're going to put it on the 5. So 3rd and 13 coming up here. Hunnemer in the gun from his own end zone. Throws it out to Conrad. Little wide receiver screen. Unable to get it going, though. As there to make the tackle was Moding. Gavin Moding came up and made a nice play. Ball out at the 13. Or I'm sorry, at the 8. Gain of about 4. Coming up on 7 to play in the 3rd quarter. I want to say thanks to Rickus Nelson, sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. So Drew Johnson, for the 2nd time in the game, punting from his own end zone.
Never an easy place to punt from.
Not comfortable. Not any wind really tonight.
No.
And he gets to the snap, kind of hesitated. That was a little nerve-wracking. Bounces at the 39, taken by Moding at the 44. He steps out of bounds on the near sideline. And they're going to put it at the, they're going to say he went out at the 42. So great field position for the Huron Tigers again on this drive. Already leading 28-6. I want to say thanks to Brookings Auto Mall. We've got 6:43 here to go in the 3rd quarter. 28-6, Huron with the lead and the ball back. And great field position to start the drive. We go 4 wide. 2 to either side for McNeil. Caudell to his right in the gun. And he throws it out. Dangerous pass. Tried to loft it over the defender. A confident pass. That's again Hauptmann. I'm sorry, that was Jay Harris. No, that was
26.
Mathis.
Mathis, yeah.
Excuse me.
And Thomas was right there too. It was a great coverage by Mathis and Thomas. And again, little things like that Brookings will have to do here in the 3rd. Still plenty of time left, but still they have to be able to get these stops with the field positioning that Huron has been getting here in the 2nd half.
Intended receiver there was John Peterson. McNeil back to pass, and throws another dangerous one. This one tipped away again. I believe that's Mathis again.
I think it was.
And that was for Logan Leondecker. I think he got that wrong. That was, I'm pretty sure that was
I think it was
Mathis
Mathis
again.
again, yep.
So 3rd and 10 coming up for the Huron Tigers ball on their own, or on the Bobcats 42, but they've been unable to gain any yards here so far on the drive. Hand off to Caudell right up the gut. He's got some room. He bounces it out and dragged down from behind by Jay Harris and got just enough, it looks like, for a first down. So on 3rd and long, they run it right up the gut and get what they need. That is tough. Bobcats did what they needed to do against the pass, and then on a run right up the middle, they give up 10 yards. A Bobcat is down. That is Egan Jensen laying on his back. The end. Not sure exactly what's hurting, but he's kind of rocking back and forth as he's sitting up. He got helped up by a trainer, and now he's jogging off the field. Looks like he's going to be fine, maybe a cramp. Once they helped him up, once they got out there, they helped him up and he ran right off. And the trainer's talking to him. Now they've got him.
I think it looks like you said cramping.
Yep. We're going to work out that left leg.
Happens to me all the time at recess playing football. But I've got nobody there to stretch me out.
Yep, no trainer there for you.
I just suck it up.
Need to talk to the Brookings School District.
Keep throwing
about
touchdowns.
Getting
Yeah,
a trainer out there on the playground.
It's tiring.
Colton McNeil in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Has room around the right edge across the 30. Out of bounds around the 25-yard line. They'll mark him at the 26. So that's going to be a gain of 6, and 2nd and 4 coming up. Nice fake by McNeil, and had plenty of room out there on the right side. So the ball now at the 26. Clock stopped at 5:53 because McNeil ran out of bounds. Bobcats need to come up with another stop here. And putting the pressure on their defense in the second half. McNeil fakes the handoff quickly out to Moding. Moding, I don't know if he lost his footing or almost lost the ball. It looked like he
For sure looked like
didn't
footing.
know.
No.
Yeah, it looked like he was like hesitating or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever he did, he gave Hamrick time to come up and make the tackle. 5.5 to go here. 3rd and 8 for Huron. Ball on the 30 of the Bobcats on the left hash. Maybe he just lost his footing on the turf. I don't know. Maybe he bobbled it. We couldn't see the ball because he had his back to us. Maybe he bobbled it and we just didn't see it. We've got 3 wide, 2 to the near side, which is the short side of the field for McNeil. Back to pass, throws it, and bounces it to his receiver. Incomplete. Intended man was number 14, Peyton Bischoff. But it's going to be 4th and 8. Huron in 4-down territory. Especially when you're up 28-6. The ball on the 30-yard line. They're not in any hurry, nor should they be. We're at 5:04 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes the snap. 3 wide for McNeil. Back to pass. Off his back foot over the middle. Dropped it into his receiver. Beautiful pass. C.J. Gainey went up to get it. And he's inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. That's a gain of 22. What a pass by the quarterback, Colton McNeil. Off his back foot, off balance. Lobbed it down the seam in traffic.
I was going to say, I saw 3, if not 4, Bobcat defenders all in that area. You were hoping that somebody was going to be able to deflect it, if not intercept it, but it was almost just like a raindrop of a pass. Got it over all 3 of them, if not 4 of them. Gainey went up and made an unbelievable catch to keep the drive alive.
Beautiful play for the Tigers. McNeil in the gun, back to pass, finds his man. Moding, did he get inside the pylon? He did. Touchdown from 8 yards out for Huron, and they're back on the board, and they're running away right now, 34-6 over the Bobcats with 4:24 to play here in this 3rd quarter. Yeah, hard to keep them out of the end zone when you put your defense in such deep holes on successive drives. But the Bobcats did, and the Tigers make them pay. Nick Kleinsaucer back out there to kick the extra point. Mason Juergens, the holder. Snap is good. Kick is good after the hold being good as well. Long snapper, John Peterson for the Tigers as well. 35-6 the score. Huron leads. We've got 4:24 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with a kickoff in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Dedicated to science and exploration, Brookings works to improve the everyday life and ensures you are never more than 10 feet away from free and technology. Good luck, Bobcats. Brookings Radio is pleased to be the flagship station for Bobcat athletic contests. Tune to King Country 102.3 for live sports broadcasts throughout the 23-24 school year.
Bobcat football powered by the Brookings Auto Mall and presented by Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. 35-6. Huron about to kick it back to the Brookings Bobcats. Nick Kleinsaucer, the lefty, has it teed up on the 40. He'll be kicking it right to left from our vantage point in the press box. Here's a long, low kick and off of the hands of Hamrick into the end zone for a touchback. Just kind of whistled through the top of his hands and trickles into the end zone. So touchback for the Bobcats, 1st and 10.
His kicks all night have been coming in kind of hot, not really the air time where they can get under it, but instead he's kind of got those almost line drive bullets coming in, a little harder to catch, but nonetheless, touchback's not gonna hurt you.
Right. He varied it. The first couple of kicks were high and low, or
And
high and short, and
Yep.
then he started the kind of line drives, which are harder to catch for the Bobcats. And, 4:23 to go in the third. It is 35-6. Bobcats need a score here. Still have time to get back in this, but they've got to score kind of quickly here and keep it rolling throughout the rest of the half. As the Tigers comfortably in front right now. 35-14 looks a lot better than 35-6, I know that. We're going to whistle before the play goes off here. And I don't know what happened. A lot of weird stoppages in play tonight. This referee is telling players to make sure their equipment is all intact, and he had him open. That was a pass to Wainman, and he just overthrew him. Just puts a little air under that and lets him run under it. That would have been 6.
Yep. Those are the ones when you watch you wish you could have back. Again, a lot of throws you'll watch on film and no adjustments you could have made. It's those ones where you'll see nobody in sight, like you had mentioned, get a little more loft on that, and Alex takes that to the house for 6. So those are the ones that tend to hurt a little more the next day when you watch it. Watching
Football film as a player, one of the most humbling experiences you can have in life. Really, really tough. Quick pitch on the end around off of the motion from the right slot to Will Conrad. Couldn't find any room around the left edge. Picked up maybe a yard. We're going to call it 3rd and 9. Ball on the 21-yard line. He brought him in motion from that right slot, pitched it to him, and he was unable to find any room. H back to the left for Huntemer. 2 wide receivers to the right. Back to pass. Goes over the middle. We may have had some contact there. No flag. I thought we might get a flag on that.
Looked like he got bumped just a little early.
A lot of plays between the 30s tonight. That was Ethan Hauptman, number 30, against John Peterson, number 30 again. And John Peterson probably could have gotten a flag there, but didn't. Kind of surprised. Looked pretty obvious.
Got bumped definitely before the throw was there.
Yeah. So Drew Johnson back out there to punt.
Bush and Liberty for the challenge Tigers.
Ethan Bush, one of the deep men, and I believe Thackeray Johnson. We've got a
Yep.
flag on the punt as Drew Johnson got knocked to the turf, and the punt will bounce across the 50, take a bit of a Brookings bounce to the 44.
It should be.
Be a 35-yard punt, but we'll see what the
It's got to be just what roughing. Okay, yep.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The lights just went out on us here in the booth. Not sure how that happened. Look back, thought somebody was playing a prank on us, but nope. I'm scared. I don't know what just happened. The Bobcats get the first down on the roughing the punter call. And the ball will be out on the 36-yard line. It's probably the football gods saying they should have gotten that pass interference call, so we'll get a roughing the punter here. Drew Johnson was down, a little bit injured. He's jogging off under his own power now. Looks like he'll be all right. It's good to see. The Bobcats have the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 36, 3:28 to go in the third quarter. Two wide to the near side, to the right of Hunemer. Running back to his right, and an H-back to his left. Harris is the running back. Hamrick is the H-back, and now Conrad in motion and sets up at the backfield. Fake the handoff, play action, throws it out for Wainman. Wainman can't come up with it as there on the coverage was Gavin Moding for the Huron Tigers. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like the pass was online. Might have just been good coverage by Moding, I believe, there. Got a hand in there just as Wainman tried to bring it in.
And Modine, he's one too that just kind of does it all for the Tigers, you know, receiving, rushing, defense, a guy that they rely on heavily both on and off the field.
Hunemer was just lucky to get that one off. He tried to throw it out to the right. He was hit just as he threw it by John Peterson, and it's over the head of his intended receiver, Will Conrad. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up. Hunemer took a shot there. Had he been able to complete it to Conrad, he would have had some yards ahead of him, but that was just a tall task there, getting hit like that while throwing it. Man in motion. They hand it off, jet sweep to Conrad to the right. He's going to be hit and taken down immediately. And Caudell was there. Also on the tackle was Colby Hofer. It's a loss on the play. 4th and 12 coming up. Inside 3 to go in the third quarter now. The Bobcats going to be in punt formation once again as Drew Johnson back out there. Moding deep, along with Ethan Bush for the Huron Tigers. They'll be around their own 30. Drew Johnson standing on his own 20. The snap, a good one. He gets it off. Wobbly kick to the left, bounces on the 40. And let it go, and it's going to take a bit of a Bobcat bounce across the 35 down to the 32-yard line. 34-yard punt. And the Tigers will get the ball back. 2:26 to go in the third. It is 35-6 Huron over the Brookings Bobcats. I want to say thanks to Kubota, fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. So 1st and 10, ball on the 32 of Huron for the Tigers. They'll have 4 wide here. Colton McNeil in the gun. Fakes the handoff and tried to throw it out on the flat, bounces it to his receiver who caught it off the bounce and tried to take off. That's Gavin Moding, thinking maybe it was a backward pass, but they're calling it incomplete. That's something the Bobcats can hope for, is to get a fumble in the backfield like that, scoop one up and score it.
Or just get something going even in Huron's, you know, a field if they can get it across the 50. A lot of their possessions have been starting so far back, so I think that'd be huge too if they could just get some better starting position on that momentum, try and get on the board here in the second half.
Caudell off the right side picks up a quick 5. taken down. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up here
15, Cashton Cottrell on the carry.
as he's out to the 37-yard line.
Gain of 5 on the play.
2 minutes to play in the third.
Austin Anderson for the Bobcats.
Bobcats trailing big, 35-6 the score against the Huron Tigers. Bobcats looking for something to spark them here. They need to come up with a stop here on 3rd and 5. He handed off to Caudell. He's got room again across the 40. Try to bounce it outside. He's across the 50. A race down the far sideline. He'll be chased out of bounds by Ethan Hauptman on the far sideline at the 28-yard line.
For 15, Cashton Cottrell on the carry.
45-yard run.
Pushed out of bounds by number 30, Ethan Hauptman. First and 10 for the Tigers. Number 28.
So just like that, Cashton Caudell, flips the field on the Bobcats. First and 10 on the Brookings 28. Handoff left side. That is Hansen. Hit taken down. Bergen Tetzloff with the tackle after the gain of a couple.
Number 9, Hanson on the carry for Huron. Gain of 2 on the play.
2nd and 8 on the way. Ball on the 26. Need to get to the 18 for a first down to the Tigers. We're coming up on a minute to play here in the third quarter. Second and 8 for Colton McNeil and the Huron Tigers. 4 wide, 3 to the near side of the field, which is the wide side to the left of McNeil. Takes the handoff, goes out in the flat, finds his man, runs around a tackle, and can't run by the second man, as that is Mathis.
Great tackle.
Nice open field tackle as Ethan Bush got around that first attempt at a tackle. So that's a loss. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
And they lost the 2 they'd gained. All back on the 28-yard line on the left hash. Colton McNeil runs to the sideline, now running back into the huddle as Huron is in no hurry. You've got 10 on the play clock. 4 wide again, 2 to either side. McNeil with Caudell to his right in the gun. Hands it off to Caudell, who is dragged down after a gain of a few. And the first one there, I believe, was Ethan Hauptman. No, that was, not Ethan Hauptman. That is number 86, Egan Jensen, who was hurt earlier. So it's good to see him back in there now. It looks like he may be trying to sub back out. It is going to be 4th down.
That'll bring us to the end of the third.
And that'll be the end of the third. 35-6, a 4th and 6 for the Huron Tigers after we flip ends and start the fourth quarter. Coming up next, we'll take a 60-second break, and we'll be back with more. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Athletics, teams, fine arts, and student organizations. First Thing and Trust is a proud sponsor of Bobcat Arts and athletic programs because we believe everyone should play hard and make
Bad wiring?
We must have just been sitting too still.
I just wiggled it and it came back on.
Huh.
It's not a motion sensor.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
I don't think. You think it would have turned on when I moved?
That's true. Huh. Just ghosts. That's all.
Specters. Colton McNeil out of the gun, pump fakes out to the flat and finds his man wide open down the far sideline for a 24-yard strike. I'm trying to find the number of the player who scored that there. I thought it was number 11, but he hasn't played most of the night. We'll see if we can get an official score on that somehow. But Nick Kleinsasser out there to kick the extra point as the Tigers have stretched it out now. 41-6. First play in the fourth quarter, they score. And bad snap picked up by the holder. Rolls right, wings it into the end zone, and it is no good. Mason Juergens intended for Holden Haig, and it's high and out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. The extra point no good. 41-6 on the scoreboard. 11:55 to go in the ball game. Huron will kick it back to Brookings when we return in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Huron scoring drive, 2 minutes 31 seconds, 10 plays, 168 yards. With a touchdown reception.
Yeah, I don't know who that was to.
Might have been Sean. Back on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Bobcats football powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. And the Tigers set to kick it off once again. One of the busiest players on the team for the Tigers has been their kicker, Nick Kleinsasser. And it's taken by Hamrick. He's got room around the left side across the 30, the 35, the 40. Dragged down and fumbles. Quickly on it, though, is one of his teammates. Didn't see who came out of there with it. And one of the Bobcats fell on it, and they keep it. That could have been another turnover.
Yeah, that would have almost been the story of the night, having these good the returns, the decent drives, but then ending with the interceptions or the fumble. So again, great return there by Hamrick. Must have just, I don't know if it was hit from behind or what, but good recovery as well by the Bobcats as they try and get something going here with 11 minutes left to go in the fourth.
And the gun is Hunnemer. Conrad in motion, left to right. He tries to throw it out right to Wainman and bounces it before it gets to his receiver. So it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Bobcats. We're at 10:40 to play here and counting. In this fourth quarter, Wainman will be wide out to the right side of Jones Hunnemer, far side of the field. A wide side, Hunnemer will be under center with an eye backfield behind him. He's going to hand it off to Hamrick. Hamrick finds a little room across the 40 out to about the 43. Be a gain of about 4 for Gavin Hamrick. Pretty decent crowd here for the first home game of the Bobcats here at Dana J. Dykow Stadium. A little quiet right now, but they showed up in force. So they were tailgating for a while before the game. Looked like a party out there.
Great evening for it too.
Yeah, perfect.
No wind.
Guessing there was some good grilling going on out there.
I think, yeah, Cubbies was, I think they do a lot of the sponsoring for it. I'm pretty sure I saw Cubbies owner Gus Theodosopoulos out there doing some grilling, so I'm sure he can grill a mean burger.
Mathis in motion in the backfield behind Hunnemer. Play action. Hunnemer rolls out, hit as he throws it again. There's John Peterson. He's been in the backfield several times tonight and put some hits on Jones Hunnemer. Hunnemer upset. I'm not sure if he's upset at his teammates or the referees. He's just upset at getting hit. It is upsetting to get hit like that. There's no doubt about it.
And the offensive line's done a good job tonight. There haven't been too many times where Jones has been hit hard. I mean, there have been times like that one and one earlier in the first half, but credit to the offensive line. They've done a good job of giving Jones enough time to get those passes off because, again, that's a different story if he'd been taking hits like that all night from the Tigers. So that one probably hurt a little bit, but still better that it hasn't happened too often tonight.
Johnson's punt almost made it over the top of the deep man. That is Ethan Bush. He finds some room around the right side, across the 30, out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. About a 29-yard return. That was a nice catch as Bush misjudged it and then threw his hands back over his shoulder and caught it over his head. And that could have been...
That's what Tony needed to do last night for the Chiefs. On his drop, turn and catch, and instead went right through the hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird seeing the Chiefs struggle a little bit, that's for sure. They had some injuries that didn't help.
Kelsey makes a difference.
No Travis Kelsey, no Chris Jones on defense. And handoff and hit right away, taken down. A couple of Bobcats defenders right there. And as one of those was Josiah Thomas. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up. No gain in the running game for the Tigers. Again, they're in no hurry. And I don't know if we'll see them pass a bunch more, as we've got 7.5 to go here in this ball game. You have 3 wide, 2 to the near side. The wide side of the field to the right of McNeil. He's going to hand it off. No, he keeps it. Does McNeil. Tries to get around the right edge. Does get around Wainman, and he's across the 40 and out of bounds. And into the bench, the sideline of the Bobcats. They're going to spot it on the 45. That's a gain of about 7. Brings up 3rd and 3. Again, the Tigers huddling up and just kind of running the clock. Actually getting a little earlier in this play clock than they were last one, but they're inside 10 seconds to go here now. And snap it with 6 on the clock. Handoff, nothing doing. Not much doing. He did grind out a yard or 2 there. Looked like he was stopped immediately. That's Cashton Caudell for a gain of a yard or 2. It's going to be 4th and 1. See what the Tigers decide to do here. 4th and 1, ball on the 47 of the Tigers. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. 41-6. Huron leads big here. The first home game of the season for the Brookings Bobcats. They travel to Spearfish next week. I should say I'll be on the trip. And a low snap picked up off the turf by McNeil. He's tackled, trying to struggle forward. Reach the ball out for that first down marker. He's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be no gain. And the Bobcats get a turnover on downs. The crowd showing their appreciation.
It's a big stop. And again, granted, game looks to be over, but still, those are big plays. It's one thing to just fold over 4th down, let Huron, obviously trying to get that first down and get another touchdown on the board. So a big stop there by the Bobcats. Now, again, if you could just end the night here with something going on offense, try and have some sort of momentum to look at going into next week's game, like you had mentioned at Spearfish.
Yeah, coaches are always looking at these times of the game for anything positive, something to build on, something to grab onto and say, look what you did here. We can just sort of bottle that and try to do that more often. We've got a timeout on the field, 4:59 to play. We'll take a quick timeout with them. 41-6 the score. Huron leads against Brookings here at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Bobcats football on the Brookings Radio Sports Network.
Life to the fullest with an innovative treatment options customized to your own muscle and growth needs. Trust leaders and orthopedic care to keep you moving forward. Visit huron.com/orthopedics to learn more. Ladies and gentlemen, as you exit the stadium tonight, please make sure that trash is being picked up around your area. This is greatly appreciated.
Bobcat football, powered by Brookings Auto Mall, presented by Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. 4:59 to go here out of the timeout. It is 1st and 10 for the Bobcats after the turnover on downs. High snap. And running left is the backup quarterback in. He slips a tackle, slips another one, struggling forward now to the 42-yard line. Gain of about 6 there. And that was Gavin Anderson, the backup quarterback, the 6', 165-pound sophomore. Nice little run there.
Yeah, breaking tackles.
Gavin Anderson going to stay in there. See if he can create something for the Bobcats here. So Anderson in the gun now. He's got an H-back to the left, 2 wide receivers to his right, and a running back to his right in the gun. Here's the snap, high snap. Anderson going to run the option. He's just going to keep it as he didn't have the right spacing. He's going to get a first down, but he loses the ball. Fumbles it across the 30, taken by one of the Tigers. I believe that's number 30, John Peterson. I've been saying his name a lot tonight. It was number 80, not number 30, Riley Weingar. Inside 4 to play. So he comes in. Looks like he's going to create some flash plays, Gavin Anderson, and puts the ball on the turf. Looks good, though, up until then. A couple of nice runs. He's got a little
quick, too.
Shiftiness to him, yeah. So 1st and 10, the Tigers get it back on their own 28. In the gun is McNeil, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, across the 30, spun around at the 33 and down. I'm sorry, that was Mason Juergens, their backup quarterback as well, the 5'10", 180-pound sophomore. He's been the holder on the extra points all night, and we saw him have to use his arm on the previous extra point try as it was a low snap. He picked it up off the turf and rolled to his right and threw the ball basically out of self-preservation through the end zone. Juergens fakes the handoff, keeps it. He's got a little room, and he's shut down. Nice job. Looked like he was going to have room around the right edge. And there to turn him back in, I believe, was Mathis. No, that's not Mathis. That is number 34, Phoenix Sather, in there. He's the one who turned that play back in. We're 2:15 to go here in the ball game. The Bobcats will continue trying to figure out a way to come up with win number 1 as they will start preparing for Spearfish on Monday. Or maybe even tomorrow. I know they'll have film session a lot of times on Sundays. But that's where we'll be next Friday. We'll carry that for you on KCountry102.com and KCountry 102.3 FM. A throw to the flat, and they're going to say it was a fumble and then picked up by the receiver, I believe. And they do. That was number 26, Gunnar Harris. Pass a little too tall. He went up to try to get it. Got his hands on it. Put it on the turf instead of bringing it in. Picked it up alertly and picked up some yardage. Got a first down out to the 39. Coming up on a minute to go here. I want to say thanks to Stony Brook, fine sponsor of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. Juergens with 4 wide. He's going to hand it off. And a hard run, spinning, churning. Finally taken down is Landon Hulst, number 25, after a gain of about 3 or 4. 2nd and, I believe, 6 coming up here. I want to say thanks to Anderson Insurance. We got 45 seconds to go here. I want to say thanks to Central Bank. And we've got to say thanks to Brookings Health System, all sponsors of high school sports here on the Brookings Radio Sports Network. 30 seconds to go. Tigers will only have to run one more play here. See if they might just kneel on it. No, they got their backups in. They're going to try to work on some things. Pass to the left side behind his intended receiver for Juergens.
Jurgens pass falls incomplete.
And it's going to fall incomplete. The intended receiver there was number 85, Blake Elwine. That's going to do it. 41-6, the final on our scoreboard here at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. We will take a break and we'll talk about the game. We'll take a look at some unofficial stats with Alec Johnson. We may have Coach Brady Clark come up and join us here during the post game as well. But we will also pick a player of the game. It's brought to you by Outlaw Graphics and Boss's Pizza. Signs, banners, vehicle, graphics, just about anything you need a graphic on, they'll get it done. Plus, Gordy can help you with t-shirts, koozies, pens, thousands of promotional items. Outlaw Graphics, the sign solutions that stick in Brookings. And again, the Boss's Pizza sponsorship comes with it. A free order of wings with choice of sauce and dipping sauce. Boneless or traditional for our player of the game tonight. So we'll name that before we close up shop here from Dana J. Dykhouse tonight. It didn't go the way of the Bobcats. They're now 0-3 on the year. And Huron Tigers get win number 1. They are now 1-2 on the season. We'll take a 4-minute break and we'll be